What's happening, everybody? Jay Shockblast here, and man, oh man, all characters unlocked. I think I'm going to be doing this in 3 parts. Some people just show you the characters real quick. I like to talk about them, and I think that's what you guys like the most. Now, everybody was super excited for me to do this for LEGO Marvel, but nobody watched it. So I hope everybody enjoys the series, and more than anything, please, I don't usually beg, but hit a like. Maybe leave a comment and let me know what you enjoyed about the video, and definitely let your friends know because I need your help. So without any further ado, let's get started. First up, we have the A-Wing pilot. I love the pilots in this game. You know, he's got a great pistol, he does some grappling, he's got a pretty cool looking helmet, and yeah, you know, A-Wing pilot, pretty generic in nature, not generic in a bad way, but there you go, one of our characters, the A-Wing pilot. Next up, we have Adam Mose, who has a little bit of a Nathan Drake thing going on around his neck. You get Adam Mose as part of the Rathtar quest. He's part of the crew, R.I.P. Next up, we have 2 versions of Admiral Akbar. We have the Classic, and we have the Resistance. The Mon Calamari General is pondering. So he's got a pretty cool little laser staff that the Mon Calamari are famous for. If you ever saw the Clone Wars cartoon, you'll know that they've done episodes where they go underwater with the Mon Calamari, and you know, a lot of them have these type of staffs that lets them do pole events, like turning things with the pole, and yeah, man. So, ooh, we got a statue. So yeah, man, there is Admiral Akbar. It's a trap! Next up, we have Admiral Statura. So I believe he's the guy that's talking when they're planning out the Starbase Killer attack at the terminal. Lots of Force Awakens characters in this game that are very, very, very minor. But it is a Force Awakens game, so there you go, Admiral Statura. Next, we have Anakin Skywalker. Now, there are 2 versions of Anakin Skywalker. We have the Pod Racer version that absolutely nobody asked for. He throws fists, and he can crawl through the small grates and stuff like that. Then we have our Clone Wars / Episode 3 version of Anakin, and this is, as far as I'm concerned, my favorite version of Anakin. And it's definitely a good look. Obviously, they were going to put Anakin in the game. It makes so much sense to do. He is essentially pretty much the purpose of Star Wars in a lot of ways, him and his family. There you go, Anakin Skywalker. Next up, we have the AT-ST pilot. The AT-ST, obviously this is from the Endor level pack. Well, not really a pack, but it's the Endor level. And the pilots, get this, the AT-ST. So this is a generic character, a trooper, if you will, but he's part of the Empire. And there you go, the AT-ST pilot. Let's go ahead and take a look at next, Athgar Heese. I don't know if you would qualify him as a bounty hunter, like what you would actually call him. He does have a little jetpack. Him and Boba Fett, I believe, are the only 2 that do. But alas, this is part of the... you use him as one of your characters during the one of the levels that you unlock after the game. It's... what's his name? I probably would have had an easier time just... Lorsan Tekka. So you basically use him with Lorsan Tekka throughout that level. He does throw a thermal detonator, which you apparently have to lock onto something for. There you go. Chuck a duck. I don't really know much more about him, though, which is going to be a theme for a lot of these characters. But Athgar Heese is definitely a cool-looking character, nonetheless. So there we go. Next up, we have Balatik, which I believe Bala-Tik is part of the what do you call them? The Guavian death cult.
We should ask them if there's anything else they want.
So Bala-Tik is the guy that invades and basically ruins Han Solo's Wrathgar career. So there he is, Bala-Tik. Doesn't, I mean, it kind of looks like him, I guess. He's got a grenade as well, thermal detonator. So Bala-Tik. Next up, we have Bazine Natal, and we see her here on Takodana in Maz's cantina / castle. And ooh, she's got a knife. She is, I don't know if you'd call her a bounty hunter or what, but she basically is the one who drops the dime on Han Solo and his crew and lets the First Order know that they are at Maz's place and starts it all. So weird looking character, definitely interesting. But there you go. That was Bazine Natal. So next up we have the Bith, and this is part of the original Cantina, part of their band, and he's wailing away on his little jazz flute thing. So there you go. You gotta appreciate the humor in the way that they did that. That is the Bith, and next up we have, yeah, it is your boy Boba Fett. If you watch my top 10 video, you know this is my favorite character in the game, and he's got the jetpack. He throws the chucks a duck, the thermal detonator, no disintegrations. And yeah, man, just generally he is epic and awesome because he's freaking Boba Fett. I think this is a character that a lot of people are extremely excited for, that are going to absolutely love this character and love the way they made him and enjoy playing with him quite a bit. So that is Boba Fett. Next we have Boba Joe. He is part of, who do you unlock him as part of the Lor San Tekka mission. I want to say he's a vendor. I really honestly have no idea who this character is, but they included him because that is what they do. I don't foresee anybody really using him much. He does have like a cane, so yeah, man, I don't really know what to say, but that is a character that we have. Next up we have Blast Tyran, and I am looking him up real quick. Blast Tyran doesn't even have his own Wikipedia page, so that's kind of tells you all you need to know about this guy. He is kind of cool. I like his outfit. I definitely think he could be cool if we knew a little bit more about him. He is obviously a bounty hunter, so I don't know much more about him though. And that unfortunately, it's not a matter of not doing research. It's just a lot of these characters are so obscure because they're just trying to do so much with it, with the game. So Blast Tyran, I think maybe that's a character they can expand on if he is a bounty hunter. Would certainly be interesting to hear more about him. But there you go. He is a character in the game. Next we have Bully Prindell, another character we unlock as part of the bonus missions. I want to say this is part of not Rathtar hunting, but yeah, I don't actually know where you unlock him. Maybe it was Crimson Corsair. No, you get Blast Tyran. I think Blast Tyran is actually part of the Crimson Corsair crew. This guy you unlock as part of... I have no idea, honestly. I don't care. He's such an obscure, minor character that who cares where you get him. You're not going to use him. He's in the game, though. Kaluan Amat is... you see him in the Resistance base during the movie. He's one of the Resistance, I wouldn't say generals, but definitely one of their officers. He's got his little Resistance logo. Well, I guess it's a Republic logo too. But, you know, he is part of the Resistance, and, you know, you're probably not going to use him, but there he is. Kalun Mat. Next up, we have Captain Phasma. Now, this is definitely a character you're going to want to use. Captain Phasma, Gwendolyn Christie's character, is fantastic. One of the best looking pieces in the game. You know, just I think I speak for everybody in saying I think we all just fell in love with this character at first sight, simply because the character just looks so awesome. You know, who knew that throwing some chrome paint... Oh, look at her cleaning herself up. I think that image right there just tells you how awesome the character is. You know, how great a decision it was just to throw a little bit of a chrome job on the character, and out comes Captain Phasma. Moving on to our next character, we have Chewbacca. Now, obviously, Chewbacca is going to be a very popular character for a lot of people. He has a couple different versions. We have Wounded Chewbacca, who doesn't move any faster or slower. He has his crossbow right there. There's also, other than Wounded Chewbacca, there's Tuan Kate, where he's got his mask, and he also has his thermal detonator. And I think that's it for versions. Yeah. So Chewbacca, everybody's favorite Wookiee, makes it into the game. This is one of your starting characters after you beat the game. Ray Resistance and Chewbacca are the two characters that you are going to have available every single time you log on. So Chief Petty Officer Unamo, you know, just a member of the First Order. You probably see her at some point in the movie, but, you know, just a filler piece here in this case. You know, just another unique soldier type character that is always going to fill these LEGO games up. Constable Zuvio right here is an interesting character. I don't know if Constable is an actual constable on Jakku, but this is a character that I don't believe is actually in the movie, but does have an action figure as part of the Star Wars Black series. Definitely a cool looking piece. Oh, here you go, right here. I bet you learn a little bit more about Blast there, but you know, so Constable Zuvio, very unique looking character. I think is a character they can probably expand off of at some point. I don't really know much about him. I don't think much is really known, but they're clearly meant to do something with him, in that they have the action figure as part of the Black series, the 6-inch, which is a waste of space as far as I'm concerning. But I can complain about Hasbro all day, so we're not going to do that. We're already complaining about other stuff. Count Dooku, one of my top 10 favorite characters in the game. Just an absolutely fantastic job with the fighting style, with the curved hook of the lightsaber, just the way he looks. He's very regal, very royal, just a very awesome character to have in the game. I know it's not really Force Awakens related, but still you can appreciate having Count Dooku in the game. Here is Kratnus, and quite frankly, that is all you need to know about this character. He can go into the little areas, the crawl space areas, and I have no idea. I'm not going to lie. No idea at all. Shand, a bounty hunter. I want to say this is part of Kanja Club. Either Kanja Club or the Guavians. Yeah, actually, it's Kanja Club. I think he's like the leader of the Kanja Club that shows up when Han Solo is trying to swindle his way out of his unfortunate scenario with the Guavian death crew, or death squad, if you will. So he does his bounty hunter thing. Certainly an interesting character that we can learn more about at another time. Kroll Jenkins! Alright, Kroll Jenkins is part of the Rathtar crew, and ultimately will get killed by a Rathtar, because that's what most people do when they hunt Rathtar, they die. And he was no exception to that rule. Crusher Rudun. This is certainly an interesting character. I believe you also unlock him as part of the Crimson Corsair mission. I'm double checking on that now. I am double checking on that now. No, you don't. You unlock him on a different mission, which maybe it's the Rathtar? No, not the Rathtar either. He's certainly an interesting character. He's got the mechanical arms, which definitely makes him interesting. You actually unlock him as part of the Lorsan Tekka mission. You don't actually see him in the mission, though. It would have been interesting if you like fought him or something. I don't remember fighting him or anything, but interesting to see them use the mechanical arms for a character, and he's kind of hovering on air, which is very Jedi-like. Oh man, another one of my top 10 favorite characters. It is Darth Maul, and I think everybody is stoked to have Darth Maul in this game, and he is looking pretty awesome. He's got that menacing glare, the double-sided lightsaber. He does force powers, jumps fairly well, gets up in the air. It's got mad hops, some would say. So there you go, Darth Maul. I think we had Kroll Jenkins on the screen way too long, so let's get him out of here for Darth Vader. Now, I'm actually surprised they didn't use multiple versions of Darth Vader. It would have been cool to see like a Force Ghost Darth Vader. I don't necessarily need an unmasked Darth Vader, but he was unmasked at one point in the Endor mission. So, I think Darth Vader is a big-time favorite of a lot of people, and you're probably going to enjoy him. So, Darth Vader, raw. So, moving on to the next line, we have Dasha Promenti. And, I mean, apparently she's a scavenger, so she's probably from Jakku. And, yeah. Another kind of fillerish character, but, you know, you're going to have a lot of those. Davin Merrick. The only part about him that makes me sad is that the R is not an L, and the Davin is not a Darth, because he's got the jaw. Definitely doesn't have the colors. Got a cool pistol. He does have a pole, like a staff, if you will, so he can do some of those staff missions. And he's got the funky hat. I'm assuming he is also from Jakku, a scavenger from Jakku, but you know, that's probably more than anybody needs to know. Death Star Trooper. Boom. This is one of our troopers from the Death Star. What I really wish we could do with this character is throw on a little mask and call him Dark Helmet. But hey man, I can't believe I didn't include him in my JPEG. Anyway, Death Star Gunner. I'm just thinking that, you know, Captain Kirk, Darth Revan, and Deadpool in my top 10 video should have had Darth Spaceballs, Dark Helmet, as part of the thumbnail. I might add it later. So anyway, I amused myself. Death Star Trooper is available in the game. Elo Asti is part of the Resistance X-Wing pilot crew. We do have access to a few of those X-Wing pilots. So he's a pretty awesome looking character. He definitely... I don't remember if he dies or not. He might be one of the ones that gets shot down. But Elo Asti is kind of a cool name too. So there you go. One of our many Resistance pilots that also does grappling. So if you ever needed someone to do grapple, just find a pilot. Next up, we have the Chancellor and the Emperor Palpatine. And both are awesome and made it on my top 10 list. I just love the Force Lightning. I love the gold hilt lightsaber. They both look crazy, but Chancellor Palpatine, it looks the best as far as I'm concerned. Super crazy looking. He also does Force Lightning. Looks like he's got like severe blockage in his rear. A little bit of constipation, but really a big fan of Palpatine in this game. They did a really good job of using him. Next up, we have the Many Faces of Finn, and Finn is fantastic. I'm going to leave that Finn out, but he is very happy, a little twitchy, which is really cool. You have Junction Box Finn, where he's wearing all black and still has a lightsaber. You have Starkiller Base Finn, which I think his shirt is just a little bit wider, basically, and he has the lightsaber, whereas regular Finn does not have lightsaber, just has a gun. So also Starkiller Base Finn has some quote-unquote battle damage. There's Takodana Finn, who again also has the lightsaber. That is the differentiation between the two Finns. And I can appreciate the need to do that. Then you have FN 2187. I understand why they don't have the blood stain across his face. I do feel like it cheapens what we are supposed to get out of FN 2187. But, it is a kid's game, so I understand why they made the choice to leave that out. Also, there is helmetless FN 2187, so he's wearing a Stormtrooper armor, just no helmet. And that is it for Finn. Next, we have the First Order Fleet Engineer. Pretty cool looking character. You can't really see much about his face, so you just assume there's a visor in there somewhere. So, the First Order Fleet Engineer. I want to call him a trooper. Next up, we have the Flame Trooper, which is one of the coolest looking characters in the game. Flame Trooper has the awesome flamethrower, which looks so cool. Probably my number 11 favorite character. Literally just missed being on the list. How can you not like that? Such a great character. I mean, it's just honestly a really awesome looking character. And I love me some troopers, to be completely honest with you. Next up we have FN 2112. This is the scene where you break Poe to the rescue, where he catches everybody in their pool. I believe that's where it was from. FN 2199. It's Traitor! This is definitely... I actually am a little upset I did not list him in my top 10 favorite video as an honorable mention with the Flame Trooper, because this one's awesome. He can crack walls, and he's got the awesome riot staff and shield. I think a lot of people are really going to enjoy playing as this character because he is pretty epic.
Come on.
So, yeah, man, there you go. FN 2199. Next up, we have Goth Kalek. And I don't even know Goth Kalek. He may actually be part of... let's see if he's part of the Crimson Corsair crew. He is not. He might be part of Trouble Over Tall. He is not. Oh, he must be part of the Rathtar crew. Thus the mask. Yes, he is part of the Rathtar crew. And, he's a Duros, and in my video I said I wish Cad Bane was in the game, forgetting that he was he's a DLC character, so that's cool. Next up we have General Hux Aerobics, and then just OG normal General Hux. So there you go. This is part of the scene where they catch the stormtroopers doing aerobics and working out. General Hux is one of the big bosses of the First Order. We see him giving the huge speech, very passionate speech, when they are talking about using Starkiller Base to destroy Coruscant, essentially. So, there you go. We've got General Hux. Next up, we have the many faces of Leia. We have General Leia. We have General Leia Formal. So this is where she's a little bit more dressed up. We have Princess Leia Classic. The way I think we all like to remember Carrie Fisher. Actually, that's not true. Slave Leia is the way we all like to remember Princess Leia. We also have Princess Leia on Endor, right there. We also have Princess Leia Ewok Village. This is Hippie Leia. Probably my least favorite of the Leias. We also have... Oh, no, that's it for Leia. So, you know, it's Leia, Carrie Fisher. Take her as she is, or, you know, take her as she's not. I would take her either way, because it's Carrie Fisher. Next up, we have two members of the Guavian Death Crew. Now, I get it, okay? This one has a rifle, and this one has the heavy blaster, but they are essentially the same character. I get why they have two. You know, you've got a stormtrooper with a heavy blaster, and then what do you have? Pretty much no one. So that one will get you through the red walls. But they're essentially the same guy. This guy is sponsored by Target with a dot in his circular face. Just kidding, he's not really sponsored by Target. But there you go. These are some kind of foot soldiers that I think we all can agree are pretty cool and worth having as part of the game. Next up, we have Goss Tours. And, you know, Goss is a character. Goss is not part of the Rathtar hunting. Goss is... Geez, I don't even know where Goss is from. Maybe Poe Dameron to the rescue. Oh, he's probably actually part of the... I have no idea. You know, some of these characters kind of come out of nowhere, and you just have no idea who they are or what they do, or where they come from. He's not part of the Rathtar crew, I don't believe. So, yeah, I don't remember where he is from in the game, but you know, maybe he's probably from Jakku, if I could just place a guess. But you know, probably not a character you're going to use much, but it does look okay. Not a bad looking character. Gray Squadron Pilot. This is a character that is part of the Resistance. I believe he flies the A-wing, not the A-wing, the Y bomber. One of the bombers, basically. I believe he flies. He's got the suit of a Y bomber. He's actually a pretty cool looking trooper, to be honest with you. Got the face paint thing going on, and you know, I love his suit. So. Not actually really going to complain about Gray Squadron Pilot. I mean, they have to have troopers. It's just part of the game. You know, they have to do it. So it is what it is. Next up, we have Greedo. I wish I could speak his language, but you know, Greedo is not a fan of Han Solo, and he is not quick on the draw. He is very slow. Greedo is a bounty hunter, sort of, obviously. Yeah, classic character they had to put in the game. Makes a lot of sense to have him in the game. So there you go. That is Greedo. Next up, we have Grumgar. Now, Grumgar is from Maz's Cantina. You see Grumgar with Bazine Natal. She's basically sitting with him. I don't know what his deal is, but you know, he does crack big Lego things. Why does he not want to cooperate with this? So there is Grumgar. So, next up after Grumgar, we have the many faces of Han Solo. Here is old Han Solo. Then we have classic Han Solo. Now, I love leaving Han Solo alone. I love his animations. They did a really great job with his animations. So there's other versions of Han Solo. There is Stormtrooper Han Solo. Never tell him the odds. There is Endor Han Solo. You still don't want to tell him the odds. There is Starkiller Base Han Solo. Probably should have been told the odds before he went out to talk to his son, but he was not told the odds because, as he always tells people, never tell him the odds. Next, we also have Tuan Kate. This is when they're hunting the Rathgar, or the Rathtar. And that is it for Han Solo. So, then we have Hoban Kasamba. And does he do... I don't know what he does. He's got this big tank on his back, but he doesn't really seem to do any fire or anything. It says his scavenger missions, scan for hidden objects and bypass toxin areas. So that must be an air pack. So Hoban Karsamba. Next up we have Huygens, who I believe you find in the Jakku Cantina area. I don't know enough about this guy, other than the fact that he's got the mask going. Looks like whatever race he is has horns. Might be a similar race to Sassy Tin. I don't know. But there is Huygens, or Huygens. Next we have Ilko Munica. I believe this is one of the characters you get as part of the Kylo Ren mission. I just... Some of these guys you just can't keep track of. And Ilko is one of them. He's not on Trouble Over Tall. So let's check Ottoman Assault. Yeah, I don't think he's part of Ottoman Assault either. Oh, that's what he's not a part of. So maybe he is part of Trouble Over Tall. Yeah, honestly, I have no idea. And I've already spent way too much time on this character that none of you, quite frankly, are going to care about. So, next we have the Imperial Royal Guard. I love this character. This made my top 10 list because I just adore the way this character looks. Just such a great classic look for a great classic character. These are the elite guards of Emperor Palpatine. And, you know, they went through some serious training. I know it's not canon anymore, but Crimson Empire is a great graphic novel where you're going to learn a lot about the Crimson Guard, so I highly recommend that. It might not be canon anymore, but it's still a great story where you learn a lot about the Crimson Guard. Next up, we have Infrablue Zedby Coggins. Now, I'm assuming this is a character from Maz's castle. I think I remember seeing him there, but I mean, otherwise, geez, I just don't know. He can obviously go through small hatches, and, you know, there you go. One of your kind of filler background characters. And last character for this video, because it looks like I am going to have to split it into 3 parts because of length, is the Jawa. And the Jawa has got his pistol, you know, can go through the small hatches. Just really a great character overall. You know, very classic character. So you might find some use for him. You might not. I don't know. But he's in the game. And that does it for part 1 of our all characters unlocked video. I want to try to keep these around 30 to 35 minutes. So I'm going to probably have to do it in 4 parts. And then I'll add a 5th part when all the DLC is out. So that is it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You know, I don't usually beg for likes and everything, but this series is very important to me. I love it when you guys watch it and get really into it. So share it, like it, do all the good stuff. I love you. Here's waiting for part 2. Peace.